1226 on Twitter to keep informed with the latest happening near you.
From the station that's on your side, breaking news.
Breaking news this afternoon, officials are searching for a missing person on the Broad River in Lincoln County. Georgia DNR tells us someone found an empty boat there, which is what started the search. DNR has game wardens helping. The Lincoln County Coroner's Office says they're not involved in the case at this point. This comes less than a month after 2 boaters drowned in Clarks Hill Lake in Lincoln County. Our crews are on the way there and we'll take you live as soon as we can. Well, developing this afternoon, we're learning the names of 2 women shot and killed inside an Augusta apartment complex last night. In the last hour, we've learned 26-year-old Tisha Moulton and 40-year-old Latoya Oglesby were those victims. The coroner says they were shot multiple times and died on scene just before 6:30. He says the 2 women lived in the apartment complex. Memorials are popping up there today. Officials say 2 other women were shot there but survived and were taken to the hospital. That's just one of a string of Augusta shootings over the past 24 hours that investigators are digging into today. 2 women were hurt in an afternoon shooting yesterday on Deansbridge Road. Their injuries weren't life-threatening and a suspect is in custody. Meanwhile, police are investigating a 3rd shooting last night near Peach Orchard Road on Miranda Road. That victim was hit in the leg. More news ahead, but first let's get a check of the weather with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hill as we take a live look over Wheeler Road. And Riley, it's just been a nice day today, and I know we've been mentioning this, but Grovetown is hosting Screen on the Green, and it's looking like that's a great time to be out there.
Really will, Zayna. Later this evening, we're expecting perfect conditions for that. Looking at mostly sunny skies over Aiken County right now and very comfortable temperatures. 73 degrees over in Aiken, and northeast winds are a little bit less breezy than what they've been the past couple of days for us. Our current temps here in Augusta are up to 78, so a little bit warmer here in town. 74 down Highway 25 through Waynesboro and Millen. A very comfortable afternoon for all of us. And Zayna mentioned it. Screen on the Green tonight at Gateway Park in Grovetown at 7 p.m. Temperatures right around movie time. We'll be starting off in the low 70s, then we'll just be falling through the 60s. And the movie tonight is Crudes 2, so should be a fun night out there. Just remember to bring your own blanket or chair to sit in, and temperature-wise, very comfortable. Maybe a light jacket once that sun does go down, though. And later tonight, we have another flyover, the International Space Station. This one's going to last a good bit longer than the one last night. More on this in your weekend forecast in just about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Riley. The Richland County Sheriff says a brave man was behind the wheel of a hijacked school bus last Thursday.
I usually don't throw the word hero out unless somebody's really earned it, and he earned it that day.
Last week, a man with a gun got on a school bus with 18 kids on board. He demanded to be taken to the next town. According to the Sheriff's Department, the suspect in this case is Jovan Collazo, a Fort Jackson trainee. Officials say 3 weeks into basic training, Collazo was desperate to get home. But we haven't heard from the bus driver on the other side of Collazo's rifle or even know his name until now. State House reporter Adam Mincer joins us. Adam, Mr. Kenneth Corbin was just honored by the school district just a short time ago for his heroics. What did he say at the ceremony?
Zayna, he actually said fairly little, and that's exactly how everyone there described him, as a quiet and humble man who's trying to stay out of the spotlight. But they are grateful that he actually took this training, the training that he used in this exact situation, get this, just 2 weeks before that incident happened. Sheriff Lott with the Richland County Sheriff's Department says that after he was done, after he got the kids safely off the bus, he wrapped his hands around them like a mother hen.
My biggest takeaway is the bond that I share with myself and my kids. As it was my goal to get them out of that incident safe and sound, I realized it was their goal to do the same by me. I've been called a hero, but I would and I will defer that power to my kids.
Sheriff Leon Lott said the hostage and active shooter training course Corbin had just taken as part of his yearly required courses for Richland County schools came at the exact right time. And on May 6th, Lott said Corbin followed that training down to the T. The suspect in this case, a Fort Jackson trainee who was only 3 weeks into his training, is currently in custody. He actually waived his bond hearing, didn't attend his bond hearing last week. Fort Jackson has claimed responsibility for this trainee leaving just 3 weeks into his training. They have actually stopped issuing rifles, even though this one in this case was unloaded to their trainees while this investigation is ongoing. Reporting live in Richland County, Adam Mincer on your side.
Thanks for that, Adam. A hero for sure. In other news, State Superintendent Molly Spearman also told Adam while every school has some similar training, the extra course Mr. Corbin took aren't mandatory statewide. Despite the challenges of the pandemic, downtown North Augusta is thriving, even catching the attention of developers. And with SRP Park drawing crowds, businesses are getting a boost. A new local business is primed to open up within a month. The photos behind me are the ones they're basing their design on. Brady Trapnell is live downtown. And Brady, what's that new business going to be?
Well, Zaina, we're in busy downtown North Augusta, right along Georgia Avenue, and this is the courtyard for Cavaliers Coffee House. As you can see, they still have some work to do. This whole area that you're seeing right now will be part coffee shop, part social hub. And this area will be an area for live music, to set up food trucks. They're actually going to put turf down out here to make it feel like a courtyard beer garden experience for people to hang out on a Friday night. Here's something that's really cool about the ownership here at Cavaliers. It's a 21-year-old David Brannon from right here in North Augusta. He's a North Augusta native. He went to school at Harvard, but the pandemic gave him some inspiration to try something new. He wants to bring the eclectic coffee shop feel from up north and mix it with the character of the South. North Augusta Forward says they're hearing from many developers looking to build downtown, and Brannon says he's excited for what's to come.
Downtown North Augusta is growing a lot right now, so I really wanted to be a part of that growth. I hope that people know that Starbucks is not the only option for coffee anymore.
And Cavaliers hopes to open with a soft opening here in the next couple weeks. They have not set a date to open this space permanently. They're looking for a good time to have a grand opening. But North Augusta Ford is also here in this Jackson Square complex. I headed over to talk with them as well to hear about the developments on the way. You'll hear about it on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Thanks, Brady. I'm excited to see the finished project. He's right. Starbucks will not be the only place to get coffee, that's for sure. Well, new this afternoon, Columbia County schools are adjusting their mask guidelines. They're citing the new CDC guidelines and are allowing fully vaccinated people the option of whether they want to wear a mask for the rest of the school year. The exception is the school bus. A federal mandate requires masks there. Scientists from across North America and Europe are calling for a deeper look into the origins of coronavirus. In a letter published today, the researchers say the theory of the virus being accidentally released from a lab is still something to consider, and it hasn't been given the same consideration as the theory of the virus naturally spreading from animals to humans. The scientists stress knowing how COVID started is critical in stopping future outbreaks. Even with the Colonial Pipeline restoring operations, Georgia is still seeing a gas shortage caused largely by panic buying this week. Gas Buddy reporting today that things barely changed overnight. Yesterday, 50% of stations are without fuel, and this morning, 49% are without. Experts say it comes down to the fact that fuel moves slowly through the pipeline. All this comes after Colonial paid a $5 million ransom yesterday to get access to their computers.
If you're Colonial Pipeline, the cost of remediating and the cost of the lost operations that you have could easily make $5 million look like a drop in the bucket.
Experts say it could take a few weeks before everything is back to normal. Congress striking a bipartisan deal to investigate the January 6th attack on the Capitol. They're making a 10-member panel with half Democrats and half Republicans. It'll be styled like the 9/11 Commission, and the group will look at circumstances and influencing factors that have provoked the insurrection. The panel will have the power to take legal action, and they'll put out a final report by the end of the year. Well, it's an issue we've been reporting for years. Complaints about maintenance at local cemeteries continuing to pour in. We've gotten reports of overgrown grass and weeds and hidden or sunken headstones. Local cemeteries like Mount Olive Memorial Gardens and Hillcrest Memorial Park say while they try their best to monitor the conditions at the park, the size of the property and weather conditions can often make it hard to do that. So they say they rely on families to bring issues to their attention.
We have a huge park and a lot of things we see throughout daily operations, but some things we just don't see. It's not that we overlook them, we just maybe hadn't gotten to that area yet. So if you see something, please bring it to our attention. That way I can put my eyes on it myself and I know it'll be taken care of.
Reverend Thomas Burton at Hillcrest Memorial Park actually says they're more than a year into an improvement project to check every one of their 40,000 grave sites. If you have a pacemaker, you may want to listen up. The FDA is warning that the magnets in cell phones may affect implanted medical devices. They say phones and smartwatches have magnets that could cause pacemakers to go into a magnetic safe mode, keeping them from working. So the FDA suggests keeping these devices at least 6 inches away from your pacemaker. They're not aware of anything bad that's happened so far, and they believe the risk to patients is low. Augusta is a triple champion in the high school basketball world, and now we're learning more about the honor the winning teams are getting. The Cross Creek girls and boys team and the Josie girls basketball team all won the state championship in their division. The parade in their honor will be Sunday afternoon. It starts at the municipal building, and it's going to go down Tailfair, then onto James Brown Boulevard, before ending up at the Augusta Courthouse. The Richmond County Schools retiring athletic director will be the Grand Marshal. All of it kicks off Sunday at 3 p.m. They hope you'll show up and line the parade route and cheer them on. But again, congrats to those teams. Riley?
Big congrats to them. And we are expecting a fantastic weekend. Temperatures tomorrow morning just going to be a little bit on the chilly side again for us. We'll have that first alert forecast coming up.
Nursing homes in crisis. The I-Team uncovers the biggest backlog in the country is here in Georgia. And we find facilities in South Carolina breaking the rules and getting fined. Monday on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Are you serious about buying or selling your home? So am I. I'm Venus Morris Griffin, Vice President and Associate Broker at Maybaum Real Estate. Call or visit my website at venusgriffin.com and let's find your dream home today.
The 15th annual Boss Hog competition is underway right now in Waynesboro. Teams are cooking and getting judged. All right, well, we're not actually going to talk about the Boss Hog right now, but we will get back to our reporter who's live in Waynesboro with that. But first, we're going to get a check of the weather as we take a live look out with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. And Riley, I know we've been saying the same thing, but hey, it's just a great time to be outside.
It really is, Zana. Honestly, we have been getting really lucky the past few days. We're reaching the middle of May, which is usually when we start getting a little taste of the heat and humidity of summer. Just hasn't been the case for us. We've rarely had dew points over 70 degrees so far this year. Another very dry afternoon, just a few passing cumulus clouds not producing any rain for us over the two-state. There are some very light showers, though, across the North Carolina mountains into the Piedmont. But high pressure is going to continue building over us as we roll into the weekend, keeping our weather pattern very quiet and comfortable as far as temperatures go. Now, through this evening into tonight, we'll be mostly clear, just a few clouds to our north. Waking up tomorrow morning, we should be mostly sunny and expecting a mostly sunny day during the day on Saturday. Now, as we head into Saturday evening, remember that rocket launch we've been talking about? Well, they're finally expected to finally get it done Saturday evening. Launch time is at 8 p.m. Skies do look clear up at Wallops Island, and our skies look mostly clear in the CSRA. But remember, we also have to look towards Bermuda, and it does look like Bermuda will have the opportunity for a few clouds, maybe a few showers, so that could prevent them from launching. We'll have to wait and see, but otherwise, the forecast looks good for us to be able to see it and for them to be able to launch up at Wallops Island. But a mostly sunny afternoon, gorgeous conditions over Grovetown. A little bit warmer today. We are up to 78 degrees on the thermometer, so just a little bit warmer than yesterday, and expecting that warming trend to continue into the weekend. We are at 78 at Bushfield. That is the warm spot. Most of us are staying in the mid-70s, 72 right now in Edgefield, 73 up in Saluda. In Evans, you're right at 77 degrees. Our low temperatures by early tomorrow morning will be bottoming back down about 10 degrees below average for us. Mid-40s out the door right around sunrise. But those mid-40s won't last too long past sunrise. We're already expecting mid to upper 60s by 10 a.m. And then it's going to be a gorgeous afternoon tomorrow. If you're hitting the Augusta Canal doing some kayaking, those winds should be fairly light during the day. Mostly sunny tomorrow, and temperatures should be a little bit warmer into the afternoon, getting at least up to 80 here in Augusta. We'll briefly hit 82 eventually tomorrow afternoon. I think that would be one of the warmer spots. A lot of us could actually stay into the upper 70s, especially if you live north of I-20 up towards the lake. And mentioning the lake, if you have lake plans this weekend, those temperatures are looking very comfortable as well. And the water temperature did go down a little bit with these cool nights we've seen. They are holding steady in the upper 60s. And since we have some cool nights sticking around through the weekend, not likely going to see those lake temps bump up too much. But by next week, we do start to see those warmer nights again, waking up in the 50s by Monday morning, and then the rain starts to work its way back in. Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, looking like the best opportunity for us to see a few showers, but other than that, very low rain chances through the weekend.
All right, back to the Boss Hog competition, which is happening right now in Waynesboro. Teens are cooking and getting judged on everything from their chicken to brisket and barbecue ribs. Nick Proto is live at the competition, taking in all the sights, smells, and sounds. And Nick, I have to say I'm pretty jealous, but the question is, when are you going to bring me back?
Zaina, I got plenty of stuff here for you. I've got plenty of barbecue, about 42 teams out here coming from most of the region. We've got a lot of folks from Georgia. This crew right here coming from Lakeland, Florida. They drove in about 7 hours yesterday, but the gates have just opened up here in the last few minutes. People starting to come in. You see we've got rides getting going here. A lot of kids out here starting to enjoy plenty of food, games, and fun here for you. There's a band just getting started, kind of the opposite of where we're standing right now. So everything's just starting to get off the ground here. Like I said, people just starting to trickle in. But you mentioned it, they have a competition here. They've got wings, they've got brisket, they've got ribs, all sorts of categories for people to compete in and to get their food and hopefully win some cash prizes. That's all coming tomorrow. But tonight is just about the fun. So you're worried about me bringing you back some food. I got to find some for myself first. Hopefully one of these vendors is feeling a little generous and can help me out on a Friday night. But I will report back. Zane, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thanks, Nick, for that. Looking like a fun time out there, and man, I wish I was out there with Nick because I'm sure it is smelling amazing. And I was just telling Riley, I know what I want for dinner. For sure, barbecue. I need some brisket. Thanks, Nick. Still ahead, you don't have to go far to lose high-speed internet service, but with the entire world online, it's never been more important. Coming up, efforts to bring broadband to rural America.
At Rhodes Law, people, it's who we are.
The pandemic showed us that high-speed internet is no longer just nice to have, it's a necessity. But about 14 million Americans don't have access to it. Jamie Tucker shows us how leaders are working to connect rural America to broadband services.
It can cost millions of dollars for internet companies to bring broadband to 3 or 4 houses in rural areas. That's the challenge facing the FCC and acting chairwoman Jessica Rosenworcel.
We're going to have to figure out a way to support the extension of infrastructure to those communities. And, you know, that's not audacious. We did it before with rural electrification. We now need to do it with rural broadband.
Rosenworcel refers to the effort that brought electricity to farms in rural areas in the 30s and 40s. Broadband internet should be easier since it can be wireless. Rosenworcel told me they're exploring everything.
There are places where we'll bring fiber. There are also conversations to be had about fixed wireless and low Earth orbiting satellites.
Blimps are another possibility, hovering thousands of feet, carrying what amounts to cell towers. Tech company Sky testing it in New Mexico. The FCC also just launched an effort to update the country's broadband maps to show exactly where high-speed internet is and where it isn't.
Too long, we've had maps that don't exactly tell us where service is and is not in this country. And, you know, if you have scarce dollars to fix these problems at the federal, state, or local level, you're only going to do it right if you have the right information.
If you have slow internet speeds, download that FCC Speed Test app. Share the information you have with the commission. Connecting everyone to broadband is not going to happen overnight, but that information will certainly help. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Extending broadband internet is part of the Biden administration's $2 trillion infrastructure plan, which also includes building roads and bridges. Well, your Ford truck could get updates without you even taking it to the shop. Ford has launched the technology to make significant remote upgrades to its cars and trucks, and it plans to roll it out to 33 million vehicles by 2028. They've already sent over the air updates to more than 100,000 F-150 pickups and Mustang Mach-E customers since late March. The remote updates save the company money, and they save you time. Well, you can't buy trading cards at Target anymore, all because of a violent dispute at one of their locations. That includes Pokemon and sports cards. Last week, a Wisconsin Target locked down after 4 people assaulted a man over sports trading cards. The company says they're pausing the products because there have been fights over cards across the country as prices skyrocket. Target plans to continue selling the cards online.
Well, if you have to watch the car this weekend, we're looking beautiful weather-wise. Temperatures in the mid to low 80s Saturday, Sunday afternoon. We'll have another look at that 7-day forecast just after the break. All right, let's take a look at your community calendar. Family Earth and Sky Night is happening tomorrow at the USC Aiken Science Center. There will be planetarium shows, hands-on activities, and even night sky viewing. It all starts at 6 p.m. at the Ruth Patrick Science Center at USC Aiken. Should be a great time out there tomorrow. The weather looks perfect for us this evening through tonight. Now here's a look over Aiken County. Blue skies, just a few of these fair weather cumulus clouds. No rain in our forecast this evening, tonight, or even through this weekend. Looking very dry and very comfortable for us. We're 71 degrees over in Aiken County currently. Those northeast winds, not quite as breezy today, but they're going to keep some dry air in place. So with dry air in place tonight and fairly calm winds and clear skies, low temperatures will be dropping back down to the mid-40s by early Saturday morning. Now, after sunrise, those 40s won't last all too long. We're expecting to hit the 60s already by 9 a.m., and then by lunchtime, we're in the mid-70s. High temperatures tomorrow should be able to hit at least 80 for us here in Augusta. And then Saturday evening, hopefully we can finally launch this rocket, folks. We've been trying to do this for a week now. They got rid of the launch tonight, so they moved it already to Saturday just to inspect it a little bit more. This is going to be visible to us about 60 to 90 seconds after lunchtime, and then it'll release some vapor tracers about 9.5 minutes after launch. That could be visible as well. Now, our forecast looks good for viewing it here in Augusta, for them to launch up in Wallops Island. The forecast in Bermuda doesn't look great, though, so that could impact it Saturday. As we roll into early next week, we're expected to see those temperatures warm up just a little bit, back into the mid-80s Monday, Tuesday, before some showers do show up by the middle of next week. Other than that, looking dry and very comfortable this weekend.
Still ahead, a string of shootings in Augusta, leaving 2 women dead and 5 victims recovering. Where the investigation stands in less than 3 minutes. First at 5 continues after a quick break. Stick with us.
If you love them